Hey, Jen. So the first film played in last year's Northwest Filmmakers Festival, is that correct? I'm just curious, who here has seen that film by chance? Show of hands. So it's more than half, I'd say. I guess my first question, just to get things started, is were you concerned more with people who hadn't seen the first film, and did you want this to stand alone? I mean, clearly it's connected to the first film, but was that a big concern, like how much information you'd have to give with the sequel as far as what happened already, and or did you just want this to stand alone on its own?
Yeah, that was kind of a concern, because I wanted the film to be able to stand on its own, but I wanted to kind of provide some of these cues and some of these things, these you know, there's some things about this film in the first one that are kind of parallel, like the Lucky Charms and the temple garments and the little Mormon figurines, and there's these little things. If you've seen the first one, they might resonate, you know, with the audience who saw the first film. And so I wanted to keep those things, the things that I thought would connect. I wanted to keep it in the film, but I also wanted the film to stand alone. And I could see some moments probably when an audience might not understand, you know, like when RJ's playing with those two little figurines, they might think like, why does he bring those to work with him? Like, why would he have those there? It's kind of weird, and it was. But if you saw the first film, you might think, oh, I remember those guys, you know. So I don't know. So yeah, it was hard to kind of, you know, try to make a statement on its own at the same time, you know, be able to connect with the viewers who saw the first one. Right. I didn't always know I would have a sequel for the film. I didn't know I was going to do one after a series of emails and from Ben and Nick were receiving emails from all over the place, as do I. And it seems that people were really connecting with the film, and you know, it just came out a year ago, you know, so it's still pretty fresh, and. You know, I've never, you know, I've been making films for about 4 years now, not very long, and I thought, you know, what opportunity to be able to make a sequel, you know, so early on in my career. I thought that was fascinating to me to kind of, you know, pick up 2.5 years after we shot the first film and just write something else that's parallel but its own story, but that would have enough of a or higher stakes rather. That would push the story forward. So, no, I didn't always know I was going to make a sequel.
Yeah, right here.
Speaking of sequels, have you ever thought of turning it into like a series for, say, Netflix? You know how they have like Orange is the New Black, like just make it go and go and go.
Right. No, that's funny because Breaking Last Pictures, the company that put out the film, both films, they're pitching to Logo Network right now the possibility of doing like a Mormon series, like a gay Mormon series of some kind, and they haven't specified what. You know, it's just I think they're just asking them, are you interested in this gay Mormon series of sorts? And so I don't know. I think I'll be talking to them more about that. But no, I haven't thought about making it a series. I thought about making a third one. Now I probably won't, but you know, a series would be interesting, definitely. Could I ask the cast and crew to come down? Sure, I will introduce. Jon Neff is our sound designer. And Bruce Jennings played Noah. And Harold Phillips as Tom. And Ben Farmer as Chris. My name's Jon Garcia. And Hannah Barefoot as Emily.
Question?
Well, okay, so for the repeating cast, the cast that were in the first movie, I just wanted to ask, what was it like going down your journey to go into a more in-depth, a more darker and personal journey for your characters, especially for Chris and for the dad?
Yeah, like John said, we didn't really know we had a sequel right away. But the first draft of the script that I read, I really, really liked just because the story progressed in a logical way, and it raised the stakes so much. You know, a lot of people who've seen the first film, I think it's a little more heavy on RJ's side. It's more of RJ's journey with coming to terms with who he really is and starting that healing journey. Because at the end of the first one, Chris, he doesn't really disappear, but he does at the same time. You know, he's sort of phased out, and we really didn't know what happened to him. You know, it's established in the first film that his father is a member of the Quorum of the 70 in the church, and you know that's one of the top tiers. So Chris sort of disappears, and audiences were legitimately asking, you know, what happened to Chris? You know, because at the end of the first film, it's shown that RJ is on his way to see Chris, and that's the footage that you see at the beginning is their, you know, is their sort of vacation together, I guess. The process of filming, we shot this in 21 days, which is really fast. A lot of long days, you know, 18, 20-hour days on set sometimes. But it was, you know, it was the most difficult thing I've done to date. Just stepping back into the shoes and having it be a little bit more centralized on Chris's character, and you know, for him to start that journey, you know. But yeah, it was great to be back though.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Well, if there aren't any more questions, I'm going to just allow each member up here of the cast or crew to kind of just summarize their experience, and just if you have any questions for them, please ask.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, this was the most incredible film to work on because, you know, the themes are so rich and deep, and everybody has some kind of a connection to, you know, feeling displaced somehow, and so to be able to work with this cast and crew so intensely for that, you know, short period of time, but you know, really in the thick of it, changed my life. Actually, changed my acting style. I learned so much. Jon was a great director. My co-star Ben was fantastic to work with. Everyone was great to work with. I'm really grateful. Thank you.
So like Ben said, it was a quick turnaround. 21 days of shooting, long days. We had essentially, you know, I guess I finished the script around, you know, March, April, and then we had until the original release date was November. I think it was October 23rd. We had to push that. So I mean, the DVD actually comes out on the DVD's official release. This is November 26th, coming up here pretty soon. It's, you know, this is the best. This is one of the best experiences of my life making both films. You know, this has been very it's been very dear to me, and it was so amazing to go and return and see these guys dress up as missionaries again, even just for one scene. That was pretty nostalgic for me. It's been great, and you know, I don't think many people make a movie in 7.5 months, and we did it, and I'm really proud of what we've accomplished.
And you already heard from me, but just touching on the immersion of this project, I have to give full credit to this casting crew. Like I said, 21 days is not a whole lot of time to make a movie, and you know, even with the long hours, you know, I didn't want to be anywhere else, you know, and I was. It was an incredible experience, and you know, I couldn't have done it without any of these guys, and Hannah especially. So I just want to say thank you.
Yeah, you guys did make a great team, the two of you, a heck of a married couple. For me, it was tremendous to be able to take this character 5 years in the future and see how he's come to grow with his relationship with his son. There's a real serious theme about fathers and sons in this movie that I think Bruce and I kind of keyed in on, especially in that scene that we had together. So that was a real opportunity for me to see where he could go as a father to someone who was just coming to terms with his own sexuality and had gone through the journey that he went through in the first film. And I feel incredibly lucky to be part of this and to be able to bring this forward into its next iteration. You know, John, I actually have a question. I've seen this thing like 4 times. I keep meaning to ask you, the young actor that plays Kaylee, she has amazing timing in that dinner scene when she has to be put to bed. Did you guys work on that? Was that complete luck? What was the story there?
Yeah, there's no directing a 3-year-old. That's what I've learned. So her mom, Stacy, pretty much she would interpret for me and baby talk. And but it worked. It worked, and she was excellent. I mean, from the way she's every time I see when she's dipping that sucker into her orange juice and that little face she makes, and then she turns around, she puts it right back in, and what's that noise? I didn't write that in the script. It was great. Yeah, so it was all luck. It's all luck.
Well, I love acting. I love being a part of groups like this, and it's always fun to be in a project with a bunch of people who, like me, may have a precarious relationship with reality, and it's fun, and it's just a great thing to be a part of. A lot of times, when the material that we have or the work that we're doing is goofy or whatever, and the best thing about it is the people that you're working with, not so much the project. But this is this is an important work for me. It's great when you can love the people and have a great time, but also do something that you're proud of that you feel has a chance of making a difference in the world. And we've already heard from people at screenings who've been touched by it, and so I'm thankful for that.
Hi, I had nothing to do with this film in the making of it, but less than a year ago, I was at a show for a band that I was going to produce, and in fact am producing now. And I met John through a mutual acquaintance, and we went out into the courtyard of this bar lounge thing, and he showed me part of the falls on his phone, the first one. And I was really taken by it, and I said, this is amazing. And I get a call a short while later that he's going to make this sequel. And I said I'd like to be involved in it. I've been in Portland 2.5 years. I come out of Hollywood. I used to run David Lynch's studio and mix Mulholland Drive and Straight Story and all of David's earlier films for their DVD releases. And I said, the sound was a little iffy on the first one. I'd like to help, with this new movie. And he got better production sound. And then when I saw some rough cuts, the emotion was so deep in this film. And the performances of both Chris and Emily and the dads were so honest. It's what you would see in real life, I believed. So I wanted to jump in on this. And I moved my studio in September. And as soon as I was operational, we dug into this. What was it, about 8 weeks, 7 weeks? About 8 weeks altogether. And we got one of the co-founders of the Portland Cello Project to come in and play all that beautiful background music besides what John had. And when I needed footsteps for the guys walking down the hall for after their first meeting, when he walks Chris to the room, I set up a mic and I said, okay, go, do this. And he did. And then I said, there's 2 guys, so we got to do another one. Don't do the same rhythm. And so he does it again, and it was perfect. It just fit. And when Chris gets out of the car in the motel parking lot, we did the doors, car doors, and Chris walking across the concrete, stuff like that. So we just had a ball. And when Aaron is making a point with his Bible story, and he does this and that, we had replaced his dialogue, so that wasn't in there anymore. And the last day of mixing, I said, we got more Foley to do. So we stayed set up for it the whole time. So I went out in the office area and did that. We dubbed it in and finished the film. It was a lot of fun. And Jon is a great director. I love his writing. I love the realness of his characters. And I think he's got quite a future.
Thank you all. I also want to thank Taylor Harris and Dennis Troutman are in the audience, 2 of the best agents in town. Thank you guys for helping me find these actors. And if there are more questions,
one question.
Sure.
How do we get a DVD of the movie?
Right. It comes out on November the 26th, and it'll be available on Amazon, and I believe iTunes will be on video on demand as well. I'm still learning exactly where it's going to be. They don't always tell me everything until it's already been done, and so this film already it's being released in more countries than the first already, in 3 or 4 more countries than the first one was, and I'm really happy about that. I'm really looking forward to it. And the international releases aren't until the new year, but it comes out here in the States on the 26th, and I believe Amazon and TLA and iTunes will be the most accessible places for it. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you guys for spending your Saturday night with us. Appreciate it. You can stick around for Q&A. Thank you.
Yeah. Give them a round of applause one more time, guys, and thank you again for all coming.